This is Gentle Yoga with Jess.
Hi, this is Jessica Lindsey with Edge Movement Arts. This gentle yoga class was recorded at our studio location in Beaverton, Oregon on August 21st, 2015. In today's class, we worked on standing spinal twists and hip releases. In this class, you will need your yoga mat. A block is optional for support in seated poses, and a chair. Okay, so we're going to start out with a little bit of meditation, and then we'll get into our physical practice, and we'll be using the chairs a little bit to help support with some of the postures. So using the chairs is something that I really love to do because it gives a little bit more alignment through the spine and the legs without having to strain as much to get into the shapes. So absolutely, if there's a pose that you're really good at that I am asking you to do and you don't need a chair to do it, you don't have to use the chair, but it's kind of fun to play around with it a little bit. So let's go ahead and close our eyes. Wiggle out your shoulders with your eyes closed. Maybe move your wrists a little bit in space. Move the palms of your hands and your fingers. And then find a nice place to let your hands rest on your thighs or in your lap. And then just starting to notice your breath today. Seeing how you feel as you sit here. And to start, I really would like you to focus on your exhalations. Inviting all of the air to be completely released from the lungs every time you breathe out. And start to notice the sensations that happen in the body on the exhale. You may notice getting a little bit heavier, the pelvis melting into the floor or the prop that you're sitting on. Really starting to let gravity pull on you a little bit. So even if that means that you don't maintain your perfect upright posture, I want you to just feel the weight of your body. Feel the weight of your legs, the weight of your hips, the weight of your spine pressing down into your pelvis. Feel the weight of your shoulders stretching, the weight of the elbows, like there's little tiny actual weights hanging from the elbows, from the wrists, from the fingers. Taking a moment to notice the jaw, inviting the jaw to relax. And then feeling the weight of your big head. That's a very big weight. And seeing if you can invite your head to be so perfectly balanced on your neck that it's easy for your neck to hold it up. Letting yourself be heavy. And this feeling of being heavy in the body is called grounding. It's how we get ourselves reconnected down into the earth to feel its support. So just as much as you have gravity pulling on you and it's drawing your body weight down into the floor, then you also have the support of the energy of atoms that are pushing against each other. And so whatever prop you're on is pushing up against you. The floor is pushing up against you. So feeling your own weight dropping down, but then also realizing that you're not just sinking down into something, but you're sinking into something that is pushing back. And that support is there for you. Now imagine that you have a beautiful waterfall, maybe the favorite waterfall you have ever seen in your life, falling from your hips. Like your hips are the top of that waterfall. It's falling down through the floor, down through the foundation of this building, all the way down into the earth. And that waterfall is your opportunity to release anything from your body today, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual, toxins. Just going to let them fall down through that waterfall the same way that when it gets to be fall, some of the leaves fall onto the river, and those leaves get washed down the river and down the waterfall, and they fall off the waterfall. The same thing here. And then to help your body be able to release these things out of your body, start to focus on your breath again. Finding big inhalations now, inhales that not only feel the chest expand, but you can feel it expand outward to left and right, and you can feel it expand backwards behind your heart, pressing into the shoulder blades. So really full, big inhales, so filled up in the body. And then those exhales are that river helping to wash anything you don't need down your waterfall. Let's take 3 more big breaths together, big full inhalation. Exhalation. Another inhale. And exhale. One last one. A bigger breath in. Letting that go. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Round through your upper back. Keep your head dropped down and take a big breath in between your shoulder blades. Let that out and get a little bit more lazy, really round through your spine, even more. Another big breath in. Breathing it out. Then use your next inhale to slowly stack your spine. Feel the strength of your back as you come up one vertebrae at a time. Keep your eyes closed here and let the head float up. We're going to take one more moment to say hello to each of our joints. So first, the fused joints that are in the head, the crown of the head. When you were a baby, they were different little plates. They weren't fused together, and then they fused together to create your skull. So just saying hello to the crown of your head. Like you could give it a little wave. Be like, hi, I see you. And then moving now next to your jaw, saying hello to your jaw. If you're someone who tends to hold tension in your jaw, just giving a big hello, noticing your jaw, inviting anything that might be tight or tense in the jaw to start to soften as you breathe and throughout your practice today. And then bring your awareness to your neck, where your skull meets your neck, that very top vertebrae. Just give it a little hello. And then move down vertebrae by vertebrae down your neck, like you could count each of the vertebrae as though there was a picture of your spine, like an X-ray. You just say hello, kind of take a look at it. And some of them may be easier for you to visualize in your mind than others. And those ones that are hard to see, that you almost need a flashlight to shine a light to see it, just take a little bit more time. Invite it to come into your awareness. Bring that awareness down to the base of your neck now. Seeing how the base of your neck is doing. And then I want you to move around to the front in this little internal gaze to your collarbones and your sternum, the front of your rib cage, right down the center there. Just give that a hello as well. Feeling the openness as you breathe in. Feeling the contraction between the ribs as you breathe out. And bring your internal gaze to your right shoulder. Give it another good hello. Maybe invite some energy to come in there. And as you get better and better at doing this little exercise, you might start to feel tingling in the part of your body that you're bringing your awareness to. So just be open to that. Bring your awareness down to your right elbow. Down to your right wrist. And then all of the joints in your fingers, your thumb, your index finger, ring finger, middle finger, pinky finger. I know I didn't do it in order. Big breath in. Breathe it out. And I want you to take a moment to notice, now that you've really paid attention to the right side of your body, how it might feel different, that right arm versus the left arm. So now let's even it out. So bring that internal gaze to the left shoulder. Invite sensation, invite awakeness, fluidity in the joint. Once you feel that, once you see that, bringing your awareness down to your left elbow. And then down to your left wrist. To your thumb and your fingers, all of those little joints. And now vertebrae by vertebrae, start to go down your upper back. So starting at the base of your neck. Again, you're looking at that x-ray of your own spine. Maybe you've even been able to do that at some point in time in your life, or you just know what it looks like from seeing pictures. And you may notice areas that are really lit up. Sometimes those are the areas that we feel or sense as pain. And you may notice other areas that are very quiet, where you almost have to strain as though you had to squint to be able to see what's going on there. And you're just giving that a hello. Just noticing that sometimes there's imbalance. I'm just gonna acknowledge that. Moving down vertebrae by vertebrae, starting to come down to the low ribs, into your lumbar spine, your low back. And same thing, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're saying hello, just noticing. I know I'm asking you to concentrate for a long period of time, but your body will appreciate having itself looked at in this way. So just keep going down one at a time till you get to the top of your pelvis. And then you have joints in your pelvis, your sacral iliac joints, or your SI joints for short. And that's where your sacrum is and the whole tailbone area. Just saying hello to that space as well. All the way to the tip of your tailbone. Can you notice the tip of your tailbone? And then you have a joint in the front of the pelvis. The pubic bone is actually two bones that come together with a little cartilage in between in the very front. So just saying hello to the front of the hips. And now noticing your right hip, where the upper leg bone meets into the pelvis. Give it a nice big hello. All of the work that it does. And if your body's starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, you can feel free to move it, especially as you're saying hello to these joints and you're really becoming conscious of what's going on in the body. Bring your awareness down to your right knee. Give it a hello. Knees tend to be very finicky creatures. So just acknowledging all the hard work that it does to support you. And down to your right ankle. And into your foot, all your little foot bones and the joints there, all the way to your toes. And if you need to wiggle your toes, you can. And then just one more side to go, the left hip. So back up to the top of the pelvis there, right where the leg inserts into the pelvis. And once you have awareness there, you're fully awake there as much as you can at this moment. Bring your awareness down to your left knee, giving it a hello. It's okay to move. You have permission to shift if you need to. Feeling your left ankle, all of your foot bones, and your toes. Take another big breath into the body. How present you are. Breathe out. Noticing how in your body you are right now. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Taking one more inhale, even bigger breath in. Really fill up the lungs until you're a little bit uncomfortable. And then slowly release it all the way. This time, let your chin drop down to your chest, around through your spine. Walk your hands forward in front of you. And you're going to reach as far forward as you can, even if your hips lift up a little bit. Letting yourself melt down, finding a nice stretch. And slowly roll yourself all the way back up. You can softly open your eyes. And then switch which leg you have in front. And do that one more time. Walking the hands forward, letting yourself melt down. And then slowly bringing yourself all the way back up. Very good. We're going to extend the right leg out to the side. Once you have it out to the side, wiggle it out. And you can be on a prop or not. It's totally up to you. If it's really easy to sit upright without having anything underneath the pelvis, then you're good. If it feels like your upper back is going to round to hold yourself up, then maybe sit on top of something. Start out with your right foot flexed. And then take your right hand on the inside of your right leg. Take your left arm up towards the ceiling. Look up towards your hand. Give it a nice stretch. And then on your exhale, bend into your right elbow and reach your left arm over the top and out to the side. Bring it back up. Inhale. We're trying to stretch the left side body here. So as you exhale, think of reaching your ribs away from your hip as you anchor your hip down. One more time, inhale up so tall, how long can the spine be? And then exhale, melt it over to the side. Now we're going to do some little rocks. So on your inhale, you're going to rock and look up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, you're going to rock towards me a little bit, towards the mirror, and look down. Again, inhale, looking up. And exhale, looking down. You're really trying to get that stretch in the side body. Inhale, look up. And exhale, look down. This time, walk your hands forward to the front of your mat. Bow your head for a moment. Shake out your shoulders. Wiggle out your head. Really release down. And then slowly on your next inhale, start to bring yourself all the way back up, nice and tall. Big breath. Letting that release. Switch sides. Taking the left. Good. Planting your hand on the inside. Take your right arm up. Big breath in. Exhale. Bend your bottom arm. Side body stretch. You're really getting that stretch between the rib and the hip. Inhale. Get tall again. Exhale. Stretch it over. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Hold where you are. And then little rocks. So rock forward a little bit. You can look down. And then inhale. Look up. And exhale. Down. Use your breath. Inhale. Look up. Exhale. Down. And inhale. Up. And now melt it all the way down and forward. Walk your hands forward, bow your head, shake out your shoulders a little bit again. Big inhale, exhalation. Start to walk your hands back toward your pelvis. Breathe in as you roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe it out. One more inhale. Exhale. Good. Just gently take the soles of the feet to touch in front of you. Take your hands to the fronts of your knees. Lean back until you start to feel a stretch through your neck and your shoulders, like you're reaching your joints out away from one another. And then turn this into a little neck stretch. So you can decide which way you want to take your head first. Just opening up through the neck. Your eyes can be closed. You're just paying attention to how it feels in your body. You can turn your head in any way that you'd like. Opening that up. Saying hello. Moving it around. Another breath in. Breathing that out. Slowly bring yourself back forward with a long neck. Bend your elbows. And then round through your spine and drop yourself down. You're going to roll it back up. Inhale, lean back. And then exhale, pull your heart forward, bend your elbows. Let's do that 3 more times. Really use your breath. Inhale, you get tall and lengthen through the spine. Exhale, you pull your heart forward and then let the head drop down. Again, inhale. And exhale. One last time, breathe it in. Breathing it out completely as you round down, and now you're going to change your hand position. You can hold onto your feet. You can turn your palms up. You can let them rest on your knees if you'd like. Or reach them forward. What's going to feel really good for you? You choose your hand position here. This is where you get to key into what your body needs. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Another inhale. Exhalation. One final breath. Letting that go. Turn your palms back down if they're not already. Start to walk them towards your hips. Sit up nice and tall. You could take your hands to your knees again if you'd like, and just take 3 breaths, holding where you are. Let your exhales drop your weight down into your pelvis. Let your inhales lengthen the crown of head up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Big full inhalation. Letting it go. Softly open your eyes. Bend your knees, bring them in, and then we're going to do some arch and hollow through the chest. So holding on to the fronts of the knees. On your inhale, you're going to try to pull your elbows back and your heart forward. So inhale, pulling the ribs forward. On your exhale, extend your arms to straight, round through your back, stretch back. Again, inhale, bringing it up. And exhale, rounding it out. 2 more times. Inhale and exhalation. One final time. Breathe it in and breathe it out. Coming into child's pose next. Inhale, bring yourself up. 2 options for transitioning. You can just take your heels off to the side and then bring your hips over your heels and melt down. Or you can always cross over the top of your ankles and then separate your feet. So in child's pose, you want to have your knees a little bit wider than your hips so that you have room for your chest to fall in between your legs. Walk your hands forward. Let your forehead rest onto your mat. Let your heart melt down, and then find your breath in your low back. So you want to really breathe into your kidney space, which is where your low ribs are in your back, right below your low ribs. So just taking a moment to really breathe into that space, to say hello to the kidneys and the adrenal glands, all of the amazingly hard work they do to filter toxins out of your body and to handle stressors that come into your life, releasing the proper hormones for you to handle things. And you can acknowledge in this moment that there have been times where your adrenals got exhausted and you were so tired from everything that was going on around you. And so you can just thank those kidneys and adrenals for their hard work and help them to replenish right now so you have resilience. You can handle anything that comes your way. Take another big breath in. Breathe that out. Coming into puppy dog pose next. Find your way up onto your hands and your knees. And then you're going to walk your knees so that they're underneath your hips. And then lower down to your forearms. Your two options here for puppy dog pose, you can either stretch the arms straight and draw your ribs in a little bit and then let your belly fall down, and that'll really open up through the armpits. Or if that gets to be too intense and you want to make it more relaxing, you can just bend the elbows and let the elbows walk out wide. So you choose what you want right now, what's going to feel really good for you, whether you want to be a little bit more active in your stretch or more relaxed. Big breath in, breathing it out. Another inhale and exhalation. One more breath in, letting it go. Coming into Sphinx pose, inhale, lift your head, and then bring your elbows so that the forearms are parallel to one another. And then you're going to walk your knees back until you let your hips, your thighs, and the lower part of your belly rest on the floor. And so then you're going to take a moment just to look at the angle of your arm. You want to have your elbow so it's either right underneath your shoulder or slightly in front. And then if the elbows want to be out a little bit, you want to make sure you draw them in so they just go straight forward and the forearms are parallel to one another. So then take a moment to wiggle out your hips, letting the belly drop down and really relax. And then you're going to let your shoulders come up by your ears and let your head drop down. So really feel that stretch as you let the heart drop and the shoulders come up, and then start to sway your upper body from side to side. So a little wiggle. You can let the neck sway a little bit, the head sway a little bit. Start to feel the shoulder blades as they articulate on the back, moving around, shifting. Find your breath again. How long and slow can you inhale? Keep swaying from side to side. Feel that articulation, inviting any spots that want to get stuck. Just start to find some movement, some fluidity. And then slowly let that sway get a little bit smaller and smaller until eventually you find stillness as your heart melts down even more. The shoulders pull up a little bit more off the back and the head drops. Take a big breath in. Breathe it out. Now finding some power in this back bend, start to push down through your forearms to draw the shoulders down into the back. Lift the heart, start to lift the head and gaze forward. So now you're really powerful through your arms, pushing down. And then claw your fingertips into your mat and then do a little wiggle so that you can pull your rib cage out of your low back. Then push down even more, even stronger through the chest. Maybe open up through the throat. The upper back is squeezing for 3, 2, and 1. Turn your hands in, your elbows out. Place one hand on top of the other, and then let your forehead rest on top of your hands. Wiggle out your hips. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Another inhale. And exhalation. One more breath here. Letting it go. Coming into a shoulder stretch on your right side. Inhale, lift your head. You're going to slide your hands so that they're underneath your shoulders to start, and then extend your right arm out to the side. You want to move your rib cage a little bit off center, and then start to roll onto your right side and touch your left toes behind you. So you're rolling onto the right side of the body, will be touching the floor. The left side comes away, and then you can let your head rest down. If I'm showing from this angle, rolling this way. Good. And when we do these shoulder stretches, the shoulders, again, like the knees, can be a very finicky joint. So you want to make sure that what you're feeling stretching your body feels good to you, and you're not causing pain, but instead you're feeling an opening. Take a big breath in. Breathe that out. Another inhale. Exhalation. One final breath. Letting it go. To bring yourself back out, start to float your head up. Slide your left arm out to the sides. Use that to slowly roll yourself back onto your belly. And then we'll switch sides. So right hand comes underneath the shoulder. Left arm reaches out, and you reach the rib cage a little bit outside of your mat. And then roll onto your left side. Touch your right toes back behind you. Let your head rest on the floor. Good. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Another inhale. Exhalation. How can you use this shape to give to yourself more in this moment? Do you need to relax more? Do you need to stretch more? Do you just need to breathe deeper into the shape? Take your final inhale and exhale. And on your next breath in, start to lift your head, start to slide the right arm away and out to the side, roll back onto your belly. And then if you need to adjust yourself so you're straight again, you can. Let your forehead rest on the mat for a moment, and we're going to come into locust pose. So sweep your arms around behind your back and interlace your fingers. You're going to try to get your elbows as straight as you can, maybe all the way to straight, or as straight as they will go for you. And then on your breath in, start to lift your heart and look forward. On your exhale, lower yourself back down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift your heart. Try to reach your wrists back towards your heels. And exhale, take that down. This last time, float up the chest and pause, and then float your feet away from the floor, contracting your whole back body for 3, 2, and 1. Let yourself release. Let your arms relax by your sides. Turn your head to one side. Let everything soften into the floor. Big breath in. Breathing it out. One more inhale. Exhalation. Gently turn your forehead back down to the mat. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, palms nice and flat. Find power in your arms. Press up to all fours. Big breath in. And then stretch back into child's pose one more time. So bringing your hips as far back over your heels as they will go for you. Letting your head drop down, opening up through your low back. And we're gonna float right back out of it. Inhale, come back onto your hands and your knees. And then doing some cat-cow motions. So on your inhale, you're going to let your shoulders open, your belly drop down, and you look up. As you exhale, round through your spine, tuck your chin to your chest, squeeze your belly button. Inhale, let the belly drop down, let the collarbones open up through your throat. And exhale, round through your spine, push strongly into the floor. One more time, inhale, open up through your heart and look forward. Exhale, round through your spine, really push into the floor. How much can you press your ribs up towards the ceiling? Slowly bring yourself into a neutral spine. Take a moment to adjust your hands, making sure the palms are really nice and flat. And then we're going to do some rib cage circles, 3 in each direction. So you're going to move your ribs off to the right and then go through your cat pose where you round through the spine, then move the ribs off to the left, and then go through your cow pose, the belly drops down, go back to the right, continue that on your own until you've done 3 in that direction. And if you feel the need to, you can soften your elbows. You can really bend into the shape. How are you going to make this feel better for your spine? How can you stretch into a new part of your back that needs this nourishment? Once you've gone 3 times in one direction, switch, go the other way. Let your head be involved. How do you want your head to help with this motion? How can you stretch through your neck, through your shoulders, through your low back? Remembering to breathe, strong, full inhalations, complete releasing exhalations. And then eventually, when you feel finished, bringing your spine back to center, pour your weight into your left hand, take your right arm up towards the ceiling, find a twist, breathe in. Exhale, reach your arm underneath your left arm. You're going to come right back up. Inhale, twist and look right. Exhale, twist and look left. One more time. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale. This time you get to relax yourself down and let your right shoulder rest on the ground. Let your head rest on the ground. If you feel comfortable here, as you start to soften, you can take your left arm back behind your back and bend your elbow. If that feels good, stay there. If you don't like the way it feels, then just bring your arm back down. Inhale. Exhale. Another breath in. Breathing it out. One final inhale where you are. Letting that release. If you have your arm behind your back, take an inhale to unwind it, reach it up towards the ceiling, and then slowly take it down. Plant your hand by your face. Press strongly into your left arm, elbow straight to lift your chest. Right arm reaches up, big breath in one more time. And exhale, take it down. Let's do the other side. Right hand is your base, left arm comes up. Inhale. Exhale, twist it through, stretch it down. 2 more times. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, stretch it down. One final time. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. This time you get to rest yourself down. The left shoulder to the floor, left side of the head to the floor. Let yourself settle into the shape. And then again, if you want to, you can float your right arm behind your back, bending at the elbow. Find your breath now. Big inhale. Exhalation. Another breath in, letting it go. One final full breath, releasing all the air out of the lungs. Unwind your top arm, right arm, reach it up towards the ceiling for a moment, maybe wiggle out your wrist, and then take your hand right down by your face. Next breath in, push into your right arm, straighten your elbow, left arm comes up, inhale. Exhale, take it down. Coming into downward dog next. Take your hands shoulder distance apart. You want to make sure your palms are really nice and flat here to protect your wrists. Curl your toes under, start to float your knees away from the floor. Push all of your body weight back towards your feet, and then start to melt your heels down toward your mat. Take a moment to bend your knees again. See how much you can bend. Really extend through your shoulders and shake out your head. Let your head go. It's not involved. And then start to melt your heels back down to the floor again, reaching them. One more time. Bend your knees. Now soften your shoulders down your back so your neck gets long. Shake out your head one more time. Palms still really flat into the floor. And then press your heels down, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Walk your hands back towards your feet until you're in a forward fold, standing on your feet. Bring your hands to your shins or above your knees and find a halfway lift. Reach the crown of your head forward, reach your sit bones back. Then bend your knees deeply, let yourself melt down, round through your upper back, shake out your head. Wiggle your feet on the floor, spread your toes, then start to find some sway of your upper body. So from your legs, sway your torso left and right. Let your arms dangle, softly moving yourself one direction and then the other direction, pulsing through the legs to create the motion and the softness in the upper body. Big breath in. Let that go. Let the sway start to get a little bit softer, a little bit slower, a little bit less motion, until eventually, like a pendulum coming to stop on one point, you find stillness in your own body as you invite the backs of your legs to release. You invite your spine to release. You invite your head to release. Big breath in. Breathe it out. Coming all the way up to standing now. Take your hands to your knees. Find a flat back position. Bend into your knees and then come all the way up. Reach your arms up overhead. Big stretch. Inhale. Exhale. Take your hands through heart center and down. Do that again. Inhale. Arms reach up. Big stretch. Exhale, find the center of your body as your hands drop down. One more time. Inhale, taking it all the way up. Exhale, floating it down. Good. Let your arms dangle. Wiggle out your wrists, wiggle out your fingers. And then just close your eyes and stand on your feet. Let your knees be slightly soft. Let your tailbone drop down. Let your belly draw in. Notice the fronts of your armpits and let them float up towards the ceiling, finding some lift through the front of your chest. Notice the back of your neck right at the base of your skull and reach it up towards the ceiling. Soft feet. Pour your weight into the arches of your feet, holding and breathing. One more big breath, filling up the body. Letting that go. Gently open your eyes. And then you're going to turn back to face towards your chair. I'm going to come behind you and show you what we're going to do next. So with your chair, we're going to work on some standing twists. So you're going to start with your weight in your left foot And then lift your right leg up and set it onto the chair. Good. So now we're going to be twisting across the body, so across the bent leg. So if I turn to face this direction, we'll be twisting towards the blue wall there. So take your right hand to your hip. Inhale and lengthen through the left side of your body, reaching your left arm up. And then on your exhale, you're going to twist to your right and take your arm on the outside of your knee. Inhale, really nice and tall. And then exhale, use your arm as a lever to continue to twist and look towards the blue wall. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Another inhale. And exhale. Very good. Try to draw your weight back a little bit more over your standing leg. Yep, good. Very nice. A little bit more back over the standing leg. There you go. Good. 2 more breaths. Breathe in. Breathing it out. And now we're going to go a little bit deeper into the pose. So take a moment and just unwind your head so you're looking towards me. You're going to slowly start to slide your arm so that now you get to lean forward. And you're going to see how far you can get your arm to go along the outside of your knee. So you may get just to your forearm, or you may be able to get all the way until almost the top of your arm is touching. So just go ahead and see if you can slide that there. Good. So just seeing where that is for you. And if you get to the point where you're able to get your elbow so that it's on the outside of your knee, then I want you to see if you can bend your arm and take your other hand to it. So you come into a little namaste hands. Good. Big breath in. Lengthen your crown of head towards the back wall. And then exhale. Push into your hands a little bit and twist deeper. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lift your chest all the way back up with control. Come all the way up and then release your leg down. Take your arms down. Wiggle out your shoulders. Big breath in. Take your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Last time, even bigger stretch up. Exhale, take it down. Switching to our second side now. Wiggle out your shoulders a little bit, wiggle out your feet. Lifting up your left leg and setting it on the chair. Take your left hand to your hip. Reach your right arm up, full extension through that side of your body. Remember to keep your body weight back over your standing leg, and then twist your body, taking your right hand on the outside of your knee. Inhale, really tall. Exhale, twist, using the lever of the arm for support. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more breaths. Big inhalation. Letting it go. Another breath in. Breathing it out. Good. Now you get to slide your hand down. So slowly start to work the arm down. See how far it can go. If you can get all the way to the elbow or a little bit past, then bend and taking your hands together. Big breath in. Breathing it out, and then find length through your spine. Thinking of the whole spine all the way to the crown of head, reaching towards the back wall. Good. See if you can roll that shoulder open. Beautiful. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Very nice. For 3, 2, and 1. Inhale from the strength of your back. Bring yourself all the way up. Release your foot down. Arms down. Inhale up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Again, even bigger breath in. Really use your breath. Exhale, float it down. One more time. Inhale. So tall. This time you're gonna swan dive yourself forward into a forward fold, and then find your hands on the chair. Walk your feet back and stretch. So just your hands are on the chair. You're reaching your sit bones back, the back of your pelvis. If you need to soften your knees, you can. Inhale and exhale. Another breath in. Breathing it out. One final inhale where you are. Letting that go. On your next breath in, start to lift your head, look toward your hands, walk your feet back forward until they're about a foot away from the seat of your chair, and then take your legs out wide into a straddle. When you're in your straddle, you want to have your feet in parallel or having the toes slightly turned in. Then you're going to come back into a forward fold. Now you can choose where you want to have your hands on the chair. You can either have the forearms resting and let the head drop down, or you can take your hands to the back seat of the chair to have the spine a little bit higher and let the head drop down. So you choose. You can play around with it, move around a little bit to see what feels really good, letting yourself melt down. Big inhale, exhalation. One more breath in, letting that out. Slowly start to find some power in your back. Lift your head. Take your hands back to the seat of the chair if they're not already, and you're going to come up to a flat back position. We're going to work on some twists here, very similar to how we twist on our hands and our knees. So I'm going to show you first. You'll inhale and twist to look up, and then you're going to exhale and bend and try to reach your hand to your opposite leg. Okay? So I'll do it facing this direction. So pour your weight into your left hand. Inhale, take your right arm up. You can let your hips go to the right and twist open. And then exhale, reach through, bend your left elbow. See how far you can reach. Come right back up. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, take it up. Exhale. This is where you get to stretch the deepest. How far can you reach it over? Maybe you can even let your head drop down below the chair. Good. And then see if you can soften your left hand on the chair so that you're barely using it. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Bring yourself back up. Take your right arm all the way back up. Find an inhale. And exhale, both hands back down. Adjust yourself. Bend your knees. Bend. And then straighten. Do that again. Bend. And then straighten. One more time. Bend. And then straighten. Come into a forward fold. Take your forearms down to the chair. Let your head drop down for a moment. Wiggle out your hips. Big inhale. Exhalation. Feel any effects from that first side of twisting. Nice, slow breathing. One more breath in. Letting that go. Starting on our second side of twists. On your next inhale, start to lift your head. Walk yourself back up onto your hands. Make sure your feet are in a position that you want them to be in. Pour your weight into your right hand. Left arm comes up. Really open up through your chest. How much can you look up towards the ceiling? And then exhale. Round it down. Reach towards your right leg. Bring it back up. Inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale, take it up. Open it up. Exhale, twist it down and hold for 5. Try to take some of the weight out of your right hand. Let it be soft. Use your left hand to stretch a little bit more for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bring yourself back up. Push back into your right arm. Stretch the spine really tall. Exhale. Take the hands down. Toe heel your feet back into center. Take one more forward fold. You can take your hands wherever it's going to feel good for you. If you want a more 90-degree angle, hands on the back of the chair. If you want to drop down a little bit further, you can let your head rest on the chair if you want it to as well. So you decide what you need, what's going to feel really good for your spine. How can you get some more length into your spine? Big breath in. Releasing exhalation. Take your final inhale. Let that go. Slowly start to lift your head. Bring your weight into your own legs. Bend into your knees. Bring yourself all the way up to standing. Really nice and slow. Reach your arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center and down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, take it down. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhalation. Gently turn yourself around and then find your seat on your chair. From here, we're going to open up through the hip flexors. So you're going to have yourself seated just on the edge of the chair. Take your left leg out to the side, and then you're going to toe heel your right leg back out to straight behind you, and then roll your hip off of the chair until your knee points down. And then you can have your left hand on the chair if you'd like to for support. Your right hand can be on your knee. It can be. It's a good question. So in this pose, it really depends on where you're tight in your hip flexors. So if you need to, you can bend your knee and then really tuck your tailbone under and draw your belly back. That'll create one stretch. If you extend your heel to straight, that'll stretch it in a little different place. So you see, where is it the tightest through the front of that hip for you? And then depending on how much you roll your hip down and your knee down, that'll also change the stretch. Good. Take a big breath in. Breathe it out. Draw your low belly in. Another inhale. And exhalation. We're going to add in a little side body stretch to this. So holding where you are, you're going to take your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, lean it over. You should really feel this open up. Inhale. Anyone not feeling it? And exhale, stretch it over. 1 more time. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, lean it over and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up, unwind. Legs are out nice and wide. Take your hands on the insides of your knees. Lean your heart forward. And then round it back up. Inhale. Exhale, bring it forward. Inhale, take it up. 1 more time, all the way down, melt it down. Once you're down, then I want you to twist to your right. So look right. Good, twist to your left. Look left. Bring it back to center, and then take it all the way back up. Switching to that second side. So now you're going to take your right knee out to the side. And then you're gonna toe heel your left foot out and get it as straight as it will go for you, so that just your right hip is on your chair. And then again, you're gonna play around with that depending on where you need to stretch through your hip flexors. You can either have the legs straight, draw the belly in, or you can bend the knee and draw the belly in. You choose. Take a breath in. Breathing it out. This one is so good for releasing tension in the psoas, helping with any low back pain. Big inhale. And exhale. And you can move it around a little bit, adjust your leg. Really make this a little bit of a self-exploration for you. Where do you need that stretch for your hips? Big breath in. Breathe it out. And now taking your left arm up towards the ceiling and then stretching it to the right. So reaching it towards the back wall. Stretch it over. Inhale. Get really nice and tall. Keep that tailbone tucked under, belly drawing in. Exhale. Really lean it over. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself all the way back up. Turn to face forward. Wiggle out your legs a little bit if you need to. Feeling those hips. Good. Hands on the knees. Big breath in. On your exhale, bend and come forward. Round it down. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, round it down. One last time. Inhale. And exhalation. Good. Bring it all the way back up. Toe heel your feet so they're hip distance apart. We're going to give your legs a little break. Do some eagle arms. Open up through the shoulders. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, take your right arm underneath your left. Cross at your elbows and then see if you can cross all the way to your hands. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Reach your elbows up. On your exhale, round through your spine. Try to touch your elbows all the way to your thighs. Inhale, take it all the way back up. Exhale, round it down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, round and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bring your spine up to straight. Reach your elbows forward towards the front mirror. Draw your low ribs back a little bit. Reach your elbows forward. Draw your low ribs back. Reach elbows forward, low ribs back. Good. And now back to center. Unwind your arms. Let them float up. And take them down. 2 more times. Inhale, float it up. Take it down. Final time. Inhale up. And down. Float the arms up halfway. Switching, second side. Did I do left underneath right? I don't remember. I think so. Good. Inhale. Lifting up. And exhale, rounding it down. I was so much in the moment, I couldn't even remember. Inhale, taking it up. Opening up through your heart. Really reach your elbows up. Exhale, round through your spine. Drop your head down. Stretch the top of the shoulders. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, stretch it down and hold for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back up to center. Reach your elbows forward. Take your ribs back. Elbows forward, ribs back, elbows forward, ribs back, elbows forward, ribs back. Good. Bring it back to center. Let it unwind. Whew. All the way up. And down. Again, inhale. And exhale. Final time. Breathe it in. And breathe it out. Good. We're going to come to seated on our mat. So I'm just going to move my chair to the back of my mat here. So you can go ahead and stand yourself up and then just bring yourself to the center of your mat and sit yourself down. And then you want to have your chair far enough away that when you lay back, your head won't bonk on it. We're going to go back to some arch and hollow through the spine. So knees bent, hands onto the knees. Take an inhale and lift up through the heart. Exhale and round through the spine. Again, inhale. Exhale. One final time, and you're just really noticing how have things shifted since the first time you did this motion. Exhale, rounding it out. Slowly bring yourself back to center. Let the knees open out wide, just like at the beginning of practice. Take your hands to the fronts of your knees. Do a little lean back. Open up through the shoulders and the neck, and then find your neck stretch again. How do you need to stretch your neck? How do you need to open up and expand? Switching to the other side, stretching your neck. And really you're just doing this however you want it to stretch. You're using your arms to hold your body as you open it up. Bringing it back to center. Let your head come back straight with the spine and reach the head back. Maybe even point your toes. If you want to try to balance, you can float your feet just a few inches off the floor, holding for 3, 2, and 1. Rock yourself back forward. You're going to draw your right heel in towards your pelvis. Bring your left knee up, and then bring your left arm on the inside of your knee. Flex your left foot so you can hold on to the outside of your foot. And then you're going to lean back so that your foot floats up off the floor. Just make sure you have a nice grip. From here, round your spine. As you round your spine, you want to push your foot into your hand and then drop your head down. Hopefully you should be feeling a stretch on the inside of your shoulder blade and your spine. And then you're going to float your leg a little bit diagonally across your body, and then take it another inch down, and then continue to push your ribs back, just like we did in our eagle arms. Really take the ribs backward, drop the head down. And now there might be a certain spot, if you float your heel down more, or you keep it up a little bit higher, where you can really stretch into the rhomboids and all of the muscles around the shoulders that might be tight for you. Holding for 3, 2, and 1. Start to float yourself back up. Let your leg float out to the side, and then see how much you can extend your leg up. See how far it'll go for you. For 3, get the spine a little bit taller. Even if the knee stays a little bit bent, see how tall you can get your spine. 2, and 1. Release it down. We'll switch to the other side. So taking your right leg up, left heel comes in. Flex your foot, right arm on the inside of the knee, and then hand goes to the outside of the foot. Lift the foot up, let it float. Adjust your hands so you have a nice grip. Take your ribs back, push your foot forward, drop your head down. Get really lazy feeling through the upper body. Good. It's kind of like you have like a low rider vehicle. Yeah? Big breath in. Breathe it out. And then your foot's the steering wheel. You're turning to the left. Take your foot to the left. Good. Maybe I need to use this analogy more often. Another breath in. Let your heel drop down a little bit. See where you need to feel that stretch. Maybe you have to touch your heel all the way towards the floor, or maybe it needs to be up higher. You can play around with it. Really see where you need to get into in your own body. And then inhale, start to lift your chest, float your leg. Just gonna let it open to the side. See how tall you can get your spine. Maybe your leg gets to straight. Maybe you just think of the spine getting tall. For 3, 2, and 1. Let it release. Crossing one foot in front of the other. Walk your hands forward. Melt yourself down. You're coming to the finish line, almost done. Big breath in. Breathing it out. And let's switch. Walk the hands back towards the pelvis. Roll yourself up nice and tall. Switch which leg you have in front. And then one more time, melt it forward. Get really fluid and soft in the body. How can you wiggle and shift so that you let gravity pull on you? Letting it go. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Slowly roll yourself all the way back up. Bring your knees into your chest, and then you're gonna roll yourself down. Once you're on your back, take a moment to let your spine settle. You can wiggle your shoulders out, broaden them onto the floor. Maybe move your hips a little bit. Then we're gonna take just a gentle little spinal twist to each side. You can choose which leg variation you'd like to do. I'm gonna show with both the knees together, so if you wanna do that variation, you can. Knees together, move your hips a little bit off to the left, and let your knees fall to the right. If you want to go deeper into this pose, you could extend your left leg just straight out to the side. Or if there's some other variation that you feel will be better for your body right now, you can feel free to go into it. Big breath in. Breathing it out. Another inhale. And exhale. Final breath in here. Letting it go. Tighten your low belly into your spine. If your leg is straight, let it bend. And then slowly bring your knees back to center. And then switch to your other side. If you need to do a little rock through your hips, you can. You'll shift your hips up and over to the right a little bit as you let your legs fall to the left. Twisting through the body, wringing out the internal organs. Maybe you extend your right leg to straight if that feels comfortable. It's okay if you end up touching somebody. Just say hello. It's okay. Big breath in. Breathing it out. 2 more breaths. Final breath. Squeeze the low belly in, bring yourself back to center. Do a little rock of your knees into your chest, wiggle out your low back. And now you can just gently extend your legs out to straight, coming into Shavasana. Or if you want to use your chair, you can turn yourself around and put your heels up on top of your chair if you feel like that would be more supportive for you. So you decide what you need in this moment. Invite your body to start to melt into the floor. Feel your bones and your feet and your legs. Start to notice the heaviness of your bones and how that heaviness presses into the muscle that presses down into the floor. Notice the heaviness of your pelvis and how the muscles underneath have to soften in order for the weight to melt. Invite all the muscles in the pelvis on the inside, on the outside to get soft, hanging off of the bone, so slack and released. Feel the spine get soft. Feel its heaviness, its weight as it draws to the floor. The low back, the middle back, the upper back. As you let the spine get heavier, allow the breath to get lighter, the belly to soften, and allow the breath to float gently in and out. Invite the space between the ribs to soften. So easy it is for the body to expand and open itself without your conscious effort. So take your conscious mind now to your shoulders, to your arm bones, to your forearms and your hands. Feel the weight of your bones melting into the floor, seeking the support of the earth underneath it. Feel the weight of your head. Allow the throat and tongue to soften. Let the breath flow in and out of the body with so much ease. Softly, quietly, the breath nourishes you, revitalizing your whole system. Take one last moment that is just for you. Honoring the amazing work you have done in your body today, the care you have given to yourself. Invite just the hint of a smile to your lips, as though there was a crowd that cheers you on as you care for you. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to invite your breath back into your conscious control, fully expanding open your heart and lung space, letting the awakening of your breath start to awaken your arms, your legs, inviting in motion into the body. Allow yourself to do any stretches that you need. Remember, the chair is up over your head, so you're just careful not to smack your hands if you stretch up overhead. However you need to stretch. And then take one last moment for yourself. You can roll onto your side. You can come up to seated. Try to keep your eyes closed so that we can honor each person's personal experience. So wherever you need to be in your body, know that that is the right place for you in this moment. And we'll take one last breath all together. Release the air out of your lungs completely. Big full breath in. Let it go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.